Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great day. Personally, I'm doing phenomenal. I got to leave work early today because we were really slow. Arya, is there a way of contacting you and sharing some thoughts as somebody from Europe on Trump and the war? Yeah, my email is arya@lovelyperfecttalks.com. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the one that I check the most. I have a Discord now, so that's fun, but that's new. Okay. First off, I was scrolling through hang on, you can't see my screen. I was scrolling through my subscription feed, and I was just blessed with this lovely where'd it go? Where'd she go? Oh, here we go. This lovely thumbnail. Jojo Siwa is straight again, and it's a picture of Jojo Siwa with a boy. Oh my gosh, my face was hidden. Awkward. Okay, Brett Cooper just made this video. Jojo Siwa is straight again. Personally, I hate Jojo Siwa. I hate her brand of gay. I hate that she made it her entire brand after at first, like, I don't even know for what reason she just decided to go from bows to just being gay. It comes across pretty sad. I don't know. It seems like she doesn't have like an identity outside of just like being an attention whore and like being in front of a camera. And like, how do I get in front of a camera again? Ooh, I know. I'll kiss girls. Like, all right. Basic much? Jesus fucking Christ. I just overall hate people that make their sexuality like the first and foremost thing about themselves. Like, it's just really fucking annoying. It's really, and it gives all of the gays a bad name. It feeds into the stereotypes. Yeah, stereotypes too hard.
Happy Thursday! It seems like everyone out there is confused about their sexuality, from Tim Walz to Jojo Siwa. Gen Z is now enrolling themselves in adulting classes because the education system is not actually teaching them what they need, and big tech is, of course, failing to protect our kids. So before we dive into these...
Side note. Oh, I've been meaning to throw this shade for so long. Not I've been meaning to, I've been wanting to since I noticed it. Who can I talk to about this other than my very own stream? The little like newspaper thing that Brett does for her intro, I absolutely love and adore it. It's so cute. Okay. I just gotta say, the timing of the Dean Withers show and the Brett Cooper's YouTube channel is so strangely similar. And it's so strangely coincidental, I mean. And if we go to Dean's, does he do an intro? Oh, there you go. Listen, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying he copied her.
Seems like everyone out there is confused about their sexuality, from Tim Walz to Jojo Siwa. Gen Z is now enrolling themselves in adulting classes because the education system is not actually teaching them what they need, and big tech is, of course, failing to protect our kids. So before we dive into these other stories, we do have to talk about the American Music Awards that happened at the beginning of this week, also known as the AMAs. Guys, they were basically a disaster. There was a ton of hype surrounding this award show. Everybody was excited to see everyone. There were rumors of maybe a Taylor Swift sighting. None of it happened. Nobody showed up. Like, everybody who was nominated for the big awards they just weren't even there. In fact, the AMAs did not even televise some of their biggest awards because the people did not even show. But there was one person who did show up, and she wanted to make sure that we all knew how relevant she was. Before we dive into that, though, make sure that you like this episode and subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and of course, ring that notification bell because we also added then J-Lo, and we've talked about
oh my fucking god. Thank you, J-Lo. Where are we talking about Joe? Where are we talking about Jojo? I got gaslit. I mean, I got clickbaited. I just wanted to see Jojo. Is this Tim Walz? Was that the joke that she made at the beginning? She's talking about Tim Walz and young men and Jordan Peterson plug. Okay, Peterson Academy. Because that is completely, yeah. Where are we talking about Jojo Siwa? As a bisexual, there's nothing confusing about it. Obviously, you can like women and men. I was under the assumption, or it was my understanding that Jojo Siwa completely went to like women and was like super vocal and super like, I went to one of her concerts and I really wish that I didn't. Like it was everything that conservatives say gay pride is. And that's an insult. Oh my god, do we even talk about Jojo Siwa? Like, Jesus Christ.
Being in kitty litter boxes in a cat outfit, do not know. I think that I know you all have been waiting for with bated breath. Is Jojo Siwa actually dating a man? Has she?
Oh, okay, so she knows that she was clickbaiting me the whole time. Cool, fuck you.
Fully rejected lesbianism, and guys, I think she might have. So this story has officially gone full circle. We talked about it about a month ago. Jojo Siwa was on Big Brother. She was peeing in kitty litter boxes in a cat outfit. Do not know, do not ask me to explain that. I mean, she was canoodling up with a man who was not her girlfriend back at home. She was having these big conversations saying that maybe she's not actually a lesbian, but that she's really queer. She also feels like maybe she doesn't feel like a woman. Maybe she's actually just non-binary. All of this stuff was happening on camera while she was not able to talk to her girlfriend back at home. Now, I did an update in that first episode that I did about it because after we had filmed the episode, Big Brother ended.
You know what? This is a great time for me to... Where am I? Hang on. Where is she? Where is she? Oh, there we go. Here you go. Oh my god, this guy's whiteboard, by the way, said Free Palestine on it, okay? We were just at like a fucking... we were just at a random... We were just at a concert for Pride, hell yeah. And he just has a Free Palestine whiteboard. Yeah, it was a really painful and really bad experience. But I didn't go for her, and she actually wasn't even on the, she wasn't supposed to be there. She was like a last minute fill-in. It was for Pride last year, NYC Pride, and I went for Trixie Mattel, which I will not take any shit for. It was awesome. For some reason, Jojo Siwa happened to ruin it, so. Play.
left the set, and she broke up with a girlfriend back at home, so everybody was speculating. With the guy is she gonna get with Chris? Is Jojo, for the first time basically ever, is she gonna be with a man? And guys, it appears that that is officially the case. Maybe she's straight, or at least she is just queer and exploring this side of herself right now, but she has now made her relationship with Chris Instagram and kissing in public official. These are the things that she posted on social media, and then this is what onlookers captured while they are vacationing or doing something
can't
really
pause.
cool.
It's not letting me
Canoodling.
pause.
Now, she insists that they are not exclusive
Pause.
yet. They are just
Hang
exploring.
on.
They're
I
having
need
a
to
good
react.
time together. And that also was not a surprise to me because I feel like I have talked about Jojo Siwa.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. I think my biggest problem with Jojo Siwa, listen, I think she's like, what is she, 21? She's like not that much older than me. We're young.
So much in the last couple of years.
Oh
I feel like she's always changing some part of herself every couple of months. She really is just on a journey to find herself, which, to be completely honest,
Jesus Christ. This is because I pulled up my photos to show my video of my concert as proof that I wasn't lying. Are you ever going to continue the Steelman series? Oh, shit. No. I mean, okay, so I did it, and I did all the research for all of them. I did one episode of it. It was me steelmanning, I think the penny, like them getting rid of the penny, and I think Doge. And it was supposed to be a whole series where I steelmanned like a bunch of different Trump policies and like gave like the best explanation for it, and then tore down the best explanation for it as like a show of like, hey, look, this is how stupid and fucking brain dead everything here is. I would love to do more videos. Unfortunately, I can't steelman a lot of the things that are going on, and I also don't think that it's good to even offer those arguments to the Trumpies, because that sounds bad to say. I'm gatekeeping my good arguments for theirs. But a lot of what benefits us right now is the fact that they're being so fucking retarded with like the policy that they're enacting and with like the way that they're going about everything, with how brazen they're doing it, with the people that they're going after, with like it's just really stupid. So I don't want to help them. I don't want to help them be smarter, if that makes sense. That moment you realize your new fave looks dead up like Brett Pooper. Oops. What? You're saying I look like her? I don't think I look like her at all.
I understand because she was a child star. She really didn't have a private person.
Oh, I didn't even finish my thought. Okay. I have no issue with Jojo Siwa acting the way that she acts, like, on a personal level. Do you, girl? Like, someone asked how older than you. How old are you? I'm 19. So she's 21. I think she's 21, maybe 22. It's a transformative period of your life, okay? I get it. Everyone's struggling. Everyone's going through a lot, especially being in a public light, especially having that much like attention and that much hate going at you at such a young age, and like building your whole brand on being a child and then growing up and like being out of that childhood. I can't imagine the identity crises that like she's going through. However, get the fuck offline. Like, you can log off. You can just get offline. You actually don't have to like stay on here if it's not good for you. You just don't have to do it. I do it all the time. Just just leave. You don't have to do it. Like, why are you putting yourself in a position where you MO5 where you preemptively hang on, how do I word this? Why are you putting yourself in a situation where you're going to receive more public judgment than the average person, and then be upset when you receive aforementioned public judgment? It doesn't quite make sense.
personal life, and so now she's an adult and she's trying to figure out her place in the world, and everybody's telling her she's one thing and she might feel a different way, and she's like, no, I'm a lesbian, maybe I'm not, I'm like a queer icon, whatever is going on. She changes her mind basically every day, so maybe it's a good thing that they're not fully exclusive. But in looking at all these pictures and looking at the videos of her and this guy Chris, I don't even know who he is, he's some like reality star person, JoJo genuinely looks happier and more natural than she has in years. Like, she looks relaxed and at peace with this person. Probably because she's not playing pretend anymore or trying to be what society was telling her she needed to be, that she was this gay icon and she had to hold it all up. Like, maybe she just needed to find—
Who the fuck wanted Jojo Siwa? No one wanted Jojo Siwa to be gay. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, I'm pretty sure the entire gay community committed suicide as soon as she came out. No one wanted Jojo to be gay. Who? Oh my god. Who? What? Who? What was the society? What just are you okay? What just happened? Anyways, that's enough of that. My cat just actually fell across my entire room, and I don't know how she managed to do that. It's really impressive. I don't know why this story got taken down. Or maybe the link is just not working anymore, but Donald Trump pardoned. There's actually multiple people. I was gonna click on one of the other links that I have here, but I forgot that I put one link per person. Donald Trump pardoned like 4 fucking criminals. Like, all back to back to back to back. I don't know how,
Did you like my surprise? I left it.
Hello. You should cover the NYC. I should, because I'm in New York, so I probably should cover that. You're right. We'll take a look. I hear you. Trump pardons politician. Trump pardons Nevada politician who pays for cosmetic surgery with funds to honor a slain officer. These are not from The Onion. These are real articles. Like, this is a real Republican official that really got elected into office, and this is why not everyone deserves the right to vote. President Donald Trump has pardoned a Nevada Republican politician who is awaiting sentencing on federal charges that she used money meant for a statue honoring a slain police officer for personal costs, including plastic surgery. Republicans whine, bitch, moan, cry, shit, and come at the thought of a welfare queen. At the idea that someone is taking government money and using it to fund their degenerate single mother life. Like, that is the epitome of every socialist democratic ideal that conservatives hate, okay? For that same side to then turn around, not just use money that honors a police officer. There's so many levels of fucking hypocritical that this is. This is the same side that's supposed to back the blue. This is the same side that's supposed to be defending the rights of police officers and honoring the dead. These are like the super patriotic, like rah America military type trucker hat guns owning type shit. Like, you're taking the money that was supposed to be allocated to honor a slain police officer, and you're using it to instead fund your own plastic surgery. It's pathetic. Sad. And then on top of that, the president is just pardoning you for it. Like, no, it's fine. It's chill. Don't even worry about it, Shawty. Like, you did not deserve to be punished. It's okay. It's okay. Michelle Fiore, a former Las Vegas city councilwoman and state lawmaker who ran unsuccessfully in 2022 for state treasurer, was found guilty in October of 6 counts of federal wire fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. She was out of custody ahead of her sentencing, which had been scheduled for next month. In a lengthy statement Thursday on Facebook, the loyal Trump supporter expressed gratitude to the president while also accusing the U.S. government and select media outlets of a broad, decade-long conspiracy to target and dismantle her life. I'm sorry, what? The media and the U.S. government have been part of a long conspiracy to target and dismantle your life, but you're the one that was found guilty of committing wire fraud? Were they what did you get surgery for? Were they conspiratizing to make your boobs smaller? Like, what was the goal at the end of here? To make your husband leave you? I'm sure he doesn't need much help with that. How do you feel about AOC and Wes Moore as vice president in 2028? That'd be cool. I don't like the 2028 questions. It'd be cool. I'm glad with literally anyone outside of Donald Trump for 2028. I would be happy for literally anyone except for J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and Don Jr. Obviously, that whole regime. Outside of that, anyone on the Democratic side is fucking amazing, so. The pardon issued Wednesday comes less than a week after Fiore lost a bid for a new trial. She had been facing the possibility of decades in prison. But no. The government is plotting against her. Federal prosecutors said that Fiore had raised more than $70,000 for the statue of a Las Vegas police officer who was fatally shot in 2014, but instead spent some of it on cosmetic surgery, rent, and her daughter's wedding. I respect the rent. You gotta do what you gotta do. Unless you're living in a McMansion and, like, in a house that you can't afford. In which case, fuck off. But surgery, cosmetic surgery and your daughter's wedding? What the fuck? Tell your daughter to pay for her own wedding. Why did you even have to do that? Like, what? Not only are you embezzling funds, but you're also spoiling the fuck out of your grown-ass daughter. Hello? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I've been paying for my own shit since I was, like, 14. In a statement, Nevada Democratic Party executive director called the pardon reckless and a slap in the face to law enforcement officers. Because not only is this woman getting, like, a get-out-of-jail-free card, saying that, you didn't do anything wrong by literally embezzling these funds to fund your cosmetic surgery and your daughter's wedding, but also it's a huge slap in the face because that's one of their own that they lost, that the statue is supposed to commemorate and honor. And that person doesn't have a statue now. But you do have a bigger boob. It's like, what? Like, what? That's so fucked. That's so fucked. Okay, so that was pardon number 1. Now, pardon number 2. Trump pardons ex-VA sheriff convicted in cash for badges bribery scheme. I'm sorry, this should never be a title in real politics. Cash for badges? Cash for badges? What the fuck is a cash for? Yo, slip me a 50 and you can play God for a day. Don't even worry, it doesn't even have to be 100. I don't really want to be here. I want to get donuts, man. Just give me some cash. I'll give you a badge. Don't even worry about it. Just don't kill anyone. Former Culpeper County Sheriff Scott Jenkins was sentenced to 20 years for deputizing several businessmen in exchange for cash payments. On Monday, Trump posted to his social media platform Truth Social that Jenkins and his family have been dragged through hell by a corrupt and weaponized Biden DOJ. This sheriff is a victim of an overzealous Biden Department of Justice and doesn't deserve to spend a single day in jail. He is a wonderful person who was persecuted by radical left monsters and left for dead. Trump said in the post, he will not be going to jail tomorrow, but instead will have a wonderful and productive life. How many ad homs do you have to use to get your sycophantic cult members to believe you? I guess not many. What is the proof that he was weaponized by the Biden DOJ? Dragged through hell by a corrupt and weaponized Biden DOJ. So he didn't take money in exchange? Whoa, I'm sorry. Jenkins was indicted on 2023 on 16 counts, including conspiracy, wire fraud, and bribery, concerning programs receiving federal funds. In December, a jury found him guilty of 1 count of conspiracy, 4 counts of honest service frauds, and 7 counts of bribery. Jenkins took the stand as his own defense and said there was no connection between the payments he received and the badges he handed out. Testifying against Jenkins were 2 undercover agents who were sworn in as auxiliary deputies in 2022 and immediately thereafter gave Jenkins envelopes with $5,000 and $10,000 cash respectively. And Jenkins appealed his conviction in April. I'm sorry, you got caught literally in the act by 2 FBI agents and you're still claiming? That's, oh my god, that's some next level shamelessness. Jesus Christ. Your Honor, there is no proof there's no proof that I gave anyone deputization. I don't know. Different word. Okay. Your Honor, I did not swear anyone in as a deputy after they gave me money. Okay. I swore them in, and then they gave me money. Stuck on that one. What is going on in chat right now? The anti-Semitic part of the left wing would go insane if we nominated Josh Shapiro. Would they? I don't know if the anti-Semitic part of the left is like strictly anti-Semitism, as in like we hate Jews, or if it's more of like anti-Western, of like America is really bad. There's definitely we hate Jews in there because they see Jews as like an extension of like the Western, like European colonizers. Oh, the Jews stole like the Israeli land from the brown Palestinian people that were so innocent. Like, I think that that's more of like the issue. It's more of like the oppressor-oppressee dynamic, I think. I don't know if people would be like super pissed off if we did Josh Shapiro. Respect. My first job was as a gravedigger at a pet cemetery when I was 12. It's kind of a grim job for a 12-year-old. Jeez. I worked at a pizzeria. It was chill. It was like right across the street from my school, so I would just like go over after school and just work. It's fun. Rent control is the most hated policy by economists, not to mention the state-controlled grocery prices will be Chicago in no time. Oh no. The pardons are good and scummy. Did you rank them from worst to awful? No, but I should have. I should do that at the end of each month, like a little pardon recap. Who has Donald Trump pardoned this month, and where do they rank on the terms of egregious people that he's pardoned? Oh my god, guys, I have such a personal, like, direct connection with someone that Donald Trump pardoned. and was rearrested. Not direct in the sense of like I know them and like I'm friends with them or anything, but direct as in like it happened so recently and it was so like and I can't. It's just it's so crazy. It's just it's insane. I wish I could give more details without doxing myself like hard. Maybe I will when I'm more famous. Anyways, okay. Jenkins appealed his own conviction. In April, acting U.S. Attorney Zachary Lee said at the time that Jenkins violated his oath of office, and this case proves that when those officials use their authority for unjust personal enrichment, the Department of Justice will hold them accountable. Insane. Insane. Okay, I don't know where my other... Hang on, give me a second while I pull up this next one. Give me a second, because I don't know why this New York Times... Like did they have to retract this article? Was there something wrong with it? Like, why is that page not found? Oh, I think the link just changed. I got it. I got it. Actually, low-key, maybe this was ranked from, like, bad to worse. Because this is fucking crazy, okay? Trump pardoned tax cheat after mother attended $1 million dinner. The math on this is insane. I don't know. I'm gonna look closer at it right now, obviously. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to the DJ. Trump pardoned tax cheat after mother attended $1 million dinner. Okay, Paul Walczak. Pardon application. Wait, hang on. Am I retarded? You can apply to get a pardon? Was it like a Google form? Like, how do... What? I obviously... I don't know how I thought pardons got given, but I didn't think that you could just apply. Like, you could just, your pardon application just cited your mother's support for the president. Okay. Any connection to a plot to publicize the Biden family diary? What more could you ask for? His recent pardon by President Donald Trump spared him from having to pay nearly $4.4 million in restitution and serving 18 months in prison. Mr. Walczak, a former nursing home executive. Yo, what the fuck is up with this? Okay, too many nursing home executives have been pardoned by Donald Trump. There's something going on in that business. I don't know what it is, but if you look at the amount of people related to like nursing homes and elderly homes, like is every nursing home and elderly home just running like a fucking money laundering, like elderly abuse, like type, like low care? What is going on with these fucking elderly facilities? Why does he have to pardon so many elderly nursing home executives? Like, submitted a pardon application to President Trump around Inauguration Day. The application focused not solely on Mr. Walczak's offense, but also on the political activity of his mother, Elizabeth Fago. Oh. Fuck, where'd my board go? Got him. It also highlighted her connections to an effort to sabotage Joseph R. Biden Jr.'s campaign by publicizing the addiction diary of his daughter, Ashley Biden, an episode that drew law enforcement scrutiny. Oh my god, how do I word this? Donnie, he doesn't love you. Donnie, listen to me, okay? It's time to move on. He doesn't remember you. I don't know if he's keeping up to date with things that you're doing, okay? It's time to get over him. It's time to move on. You're not going to see what his diary said, okay? Arya's cancelled now. She's such a slur. Hey, I thought slurs were legal now. I thought the Trump administration made that okay again. I thought comedy was funny. What the fuck? Did someone ask that in my Discord? Someone was like, if comedy's legal again, why are conservatives still not funny? The simple answer is because they're dumb. And it actually does take a level of intelligence to be smart, unfortunately. Anyways, wait, I'm not done with this. How blatantly pathetic of a life do you have to live where you have your fans bragging to you about how they are taking lengths and going through lengths to sabotage your enemies, and they're using that as an excuse or as evidence, as justifications, as reasonings for why you should let them get out of jail for free. Oh, but Biden's DOJ was corrupt and Biden's administration was biased, and it was Biden. It was Biden. Weeks and weeks went by, and no pardon was forthcoming. Maybe because... Did the diary ever end up getting released? Did he fail at that? Is that why? Oh no, it did get publicized. Okay. What, was it not good enough? I don't know why it got rejected to begin with. But Miss Fago was invited to a $1 million per person fundraising dinner last month that promised face-to-face access to Mr. Trump at his private Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida. Less than 3 weeks after she attended the dinner, Mr. Trump signed a full and unconditional pardon. Great. It came just in the nick of time for Mr. Waltag, sparing him from having to pay nearly $4.4 million in restitution and from reporting to prison for an 18-month sentence that had been handed down just 12 days earlier, after a judge had said at his incarceration that there was no get-out-of-jail-free card for the rich. Oh my god, what is going on in chat? Notice how mad they got about Kamala when she was arguably one of the most restrictive people on Israel. I don't know if that was genuine. Do you guys think that was genuine? I feel like that was just an excuse. Of like, I don't know, I feel like this is just like a vessel. Like, it's a very hollow vessel. It's the activist vessel. Why? Can I stop clicking that? Okay. Mad about what? About her? Mad that she was the nominee? If she was restrictive on Israel, anti-Semitic people would like that. What are you saying? The commulation of Larry Hoover... What? The commutation of Larry Hoover is preposterous, considering there isn't a gangbanger actively gangbanging today that can point out Hoover in a perp lineup if he was the only person in it. I hate hollowed, uncontextualized historical examples. This is an unforeseen, unprecedented moment in history. I don't know if you can I don't know if you can compare it to anything like accurately without contextualizing it a little bit more and like qualifying it a little bit more. Nursing homes have privatized, and it's to their best money opportunity to keep you there as long as possible. Yeah, true. Have you talked about Trump's new nickname, Taco? Oh, I actually just filmed a video about it. It should be up tomorrow. I just filmed the video about it though. Yeah. It's really fun. Here, I'll show the clip where the reporter got mad at him for bringing it up that I just referenced, but it's actually fucking hysterical. The the reporter goes up to him and is like, what do you have to say about like people calling you like Taco and like saying that you're not doing good for the that you're backing out of your tariffs? And he's like, that's the nastiest question that I've ever heard. Why would you even ask such a nasty question? That's such a nasty question. Why would you even ask the nasty? It's like, oh my god, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Load. Why is it not loading? Did you put episode 6 and episode 7 up on your channel? Episode 6 doesn't exist. Because I was supposed to go live one day and my editor made a thumbnail and then I never went live, and so the thumbnail just kept on going just without 6. And 7 is private on my channel because I was playing copyrighted music and it's demonetized, so it's unlisted right now. Why is this not loading? Thank you.
Trade, they're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country, and because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me. He said, you got the hottest we have the hottest country in the world right now. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, you know, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, you know, a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, you know, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead. To me, that's the nastiest question.
Fuck, I'm muted, sorry. Which reporter was it? Which one of these women thought that they were within their rights to talk? to dare, how dare you ask the president for his thoughts on any criticism? Okay, it very clearly says here, I didn't chicken out. And everyone knows that if you're a chicken, you admit that you chickened out. Obviously. Everyone is why do you keep on muting your mic? Because I'm eating, and this is not an ASMR channel, as much as you guys would like it to be. What do we think of my new border? I didn't get any comments on it. Now I'm insecure.
Struggling. I'm not a victim. I'm not Jim Comey. It's fine. I did this, and I'm proud I did it. But if you think we're there for tea and crumpets, well, I mean, Cash is there all day. We share it. Our offices are linked. He turns on the faucet. I hear it. He's there he gets in at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave till 7 at night. You know, I'm in there at 7:30 in the morning. He uses the gym. I work out in my apartment. But I stare at these four walls all day in D.C., you know, by myself, divorced from my wife. Not divorced, but I mean separated, divorced. And it's hard. I mean, you know, we love each other, and it's hard to be apart.
But you're doing some great work. You straighten out the FBI, you're moving buildings, there's a lot of change.
I got one more thing. I mean, I gave up everything for this. I mean, you know, my wife is struggling. I'm not a victim.
Is he? What the fuck? So leave. Like, you're not even qualified to be in government. Oh my god, get out. So leave. Why the fuck are you bitching? Who was it? I think it was it Bill Gates' daughter? I think it was Bill Gates' daughter that just gave an interview where they asked her, like, is it hard being a Nepo baby? Like, is it hard, like, knowing what to do with everything? Like, is that difficult? With all the money? And she was like, no. Like, I'm very lucky, and I'm very privileged that that's even a question. Like, I'm very grateful that I have everything that I have, and I'm very lucky that I'm able to be in the position that I'm in, and I never had to worry about, like, XYZ. Like, I never had to worry how I got into Stanford, and I'm so grateful for it. Well, she gave, like, a very, like, classy, very concise, very, very nice answer of, like, I'm very grateful, okay? It's hard, but I'm grateful that this is my hardship type shit, you know? Dan Bongino, literally kill yourself. I wonder if the amount of times that I tell people to off themselves is gonna come back to bite me in the ass. Like, there's a chance that one of these people that I tell to off themselves actually ends up doing it. Or worse, it gets shown that, or it gets claimed that they do it, and people assume that it was a hit by the government or some type of, like, evil conspiracy. Then there's gonna be all of these clips of Arya saying that they should have killed themselves, and it's like, oh my god, Arya plotted their death. And, like, no, bro. I just think everyone should kill themselves.
Never heard that. You mean because I reduced, I kick out? Oh, and then I kick out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number?
I love this
and
so much.
I said you have to open up your whole country, and because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till June 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet.
I said, what's the date? Because I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what was going on. Everything was confusing. They kept on yelling things at me, and I just wanted my Diet Coke, and no one would give it to me. Did he open another one? Wait, sorry. Did he do another one? Did he do another debate? I'm really thirsty for debate reacting content. Ah, that's me. I can't tell if I respect this girl or if she's, like, everything that I hate. But she started popping up on my recommended, and she's obviously biased, even though it says unbiased. I can't tell if she's, well, I can tell that she's a little more like one of the, I don't know. I can't tell if she's like genuinely one of those centrists that's like, I think that there's too much emotion in politics and we need to get it out, or if she's like one of those like meta centrists that's like, I think that the fuck you, Squish. Fuck you. Ooh. New Alex O'Connor video. Definitely have to watch that. Taco trade. Hell yeah. Wait, what am I looking up? I don't even know. I don't think sewer slide jokes are funny. Okay, the fact that you said sewer slide tells me that you're chronically online, sorry. But I'm a survivor as a trans woman. Our community has a big problem with that already. As an insecure teenage girl, I've also struggled with that. Humor is humor, and comedy's legal again, so. RFK had a health report?
Hey guys, me Sam Stein, managing editor at The Bulwark, and I'm back again. I'm joined by Margaret Manto, who is a reporter at Notice. Margaret is joining us from what is a conspicuous looking DC office space, I presume. I don't know if that's Notice headquarters, but thank you for joining us. We're here to talk about her excellent story, which is getting a ton of attention in DC circles and frankly outside of it. It's called the MAHA Report, cites studies that don't exist. For those that don't know, the MAHA Report is what the administration has put out under Robert F. Kennedy's leadership. It came out a couple days ago. It looks at the classic Kennedy issues. We're going to dive into it. Before we do, subscribe to our YouTube feed. We really appreciate that. All right, Margaret, tell us a little bit about your story.
So I have been following the MAHA Report since it came out. I read it closely last week. And, there's a lot to get into, but over the weekend, I got a tip that there were maybe some issues with some of the citations within the report. So the story was looking at every single one, and we found that a couple did not exist.
I just want to be clear. There's 522 citations in this report. Not everyone is like a medical journal or anything like that. There's news reports. You looked at all 522.
We did, yeah.
Was it just you clicking on? Because it's like small font. I found it very difficult to even look at it.
Hang on, that's actually insane. Wait, hang on. We have... oh my god. This is the government. This is the federal government of the United States. They have access to the best and the brightest. They have access to any database that they could ever ask for. They have everything at their fingertips. If it is the case that vaccines are causing autism, if it is the case that fluoride is poisoning the children, and if it is the case that all of these vaccines that we're pumping into the newborns are actually killing them and causing all of these chronic illnesses when they grow up, and actually not the horrible diets and lifestyles of the American population, if it is the case, why the fuck do you need to rely on fake studies to prove it? What? First of all, also, I don't know how qualified I am to speak on this, but 522 studies, that doesn't really sound like a lot of studies for a national health report. I feel like you should be referencing like thousands upon thousands for a national health report. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like for my AP research class, I had like almost, I want to say I had like 120 citations alone. And that was like for a high school research, like that. My project was on whether or not astrology was real. Like, there's no reason that they should have like a quarter of the amount of sources of the fucking national health fucking, oh my god.
Yeah, it was me and my colleague Emily.
Okay.
We did basically click on all of them.
Okay, so let's talk about sort of the broad picture here. So, in certain cases, when you say that some of the citations were to reports that didn't exist, some were just broken links, how significant a deal is it to do this?
Well, I know if I had tried to turn in a paper with these issues in college, would have not gone well for me. But yeah, it really depends, I think, on the specific citation. You know, some of them, like you said, just had broken links, or, you know, maybe said that the study was in the wrong journal or had the wrong authors.
Lots of peer reviewers will literally reject papers without reading the papers and checking the first few references. I don't know if I believe that. Like if the first 3 references are like Wikipedia, then they'll reject it. Like okay, that makes sense. If I go to the sources and the first 3 references are like fucking Wikipedia, an X post, and like what is it? What's the right wing one? Is it the Brennan Institute or something? Whatever. Yeah, I'd be like, right, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, never mind. I believe it. Makes sense. I just had to talk through that one.
Which, you know, is an issue. It's an error in the citation.
Yeah,
but,
sure. It's bad homework.
Yeah.
It's sloppy work. It calls into question the, you know, who constructed the report, but it's clerical.
Yeah, but then for 7 citations, 7 out of 522.
I don't know if this is where they're going with it, but God, I fucking hope that report was AI generated. Oh my God, oh my God, I would finish right on camera. Like, if this report was AI generated and the AI had not, like, it pulled these random fucking fake studies, oh my God.
We found that we couldn't find the study that it was supposedly citing at all. And we reached out to the supposed authors of these studies, who are real researchers.
Okay.
And a couple of them got back to us and said, wow, I have never heard of this paper that I've supposedly written. So,
wow. Yeah. And there were other occasions where there were citations that went to proper studies, but it misrepresented the actual conclusions of the studies too.
Yeah, we did find some that where the studies that they were citing said something different than what the report was saying. And so that's definitely something that we want to look into, because again, it's a lot of studies.
You reached out to HHS. Well, actually, let's step back for a second. Let's talk about who put together this report and why it was put together.
So this report was put together by the Make America Healthy Again Commission, which President Trump put together via executive order. It's headed by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Other cabinet members are on the commission. The head of NIH, head of FDA, they're all on the commission, along with other, White House figures who have contributed.
And why did they decide they need to put together this report?
So Kennedy has a lot of concerns about chronic disease in kids. And so this report basically outlines all of the things that he thinks are causing chronic disease in children.
It's a 73-page report. How much time did they take to put it together?
The commission was set up, I believe, in February, so just a couple of months.
Is that normal? 2 months to put together a report of this magnitude for a government study?
It is a big report to put together in 2 months. I can say that a lot of scientific studies and reviews, which this basically is a type of review, could take significantly longer.
The news reports around the report have been sort of, I guess, mixed and interesting. For example, there are some stuff that people are complimentary of, how it looks at processed foods, for instance, what we're doing in terms of diet and health. There are some things that are unexpected. For instance, they assume that there are going to be more attacks around pesticides, but in fact, the report praised American farmers. And there were suggestions, for instance, that industry got in the way of that. And then there's, of course, the question of vaccines, which kind of haunts Kennedy no matter what. And the report does raise concerns about vaccinations and over-vaccinations, but it doesn't go quite as far as Kennedy has gone in his prior life around this stuff. What was the sort of larger scientific community takeaway about what this report did and said?
Yeah, I think a a good portion of the report is based on real science. And, a lot of scientists who have been studying things like ultra-processed foods or, the dangers of chemicals that have been approved for use on crops or in our foods or our cosmetics, I think see a lot of value in this level of oversight and kind of this language coming from the highest levels of the government. But yeah, there are definitely other areas where the report veers away from the scientific consensus. So it really just depends on the specific issue and the language.
But it has to be completely damaging to the credibility of the report itself to have.
Maybe I'm being conspiratorial, but why do you need to mention world wars in a food report? Like, why are you trying to tie the American food crisis into the post-World War II American order? Maybe I'm being conspiratorial, but what the fuck does this... Following World War II, much of Europe, what's wrong with what happened after World War II? Do you not like the post-World War II global order? Is that what this is implying?
Citations that just don't exist. I mean, that...
Also, I'm eating linguine with creamy tomato sauce and chicken sausage. It's not real sausage. It's just ground chicken.
I'm just going to be honest about it. If anything like this were to appear in JAMA or New England Journal of Medicine, they would have to remove the report. They would have to retract it.
Yeah, I think you are totally right that this kind of issue is a big concern right now when it comes to scientific community. And Kennedy has said that he wants more transparency and credibility in science. So yeah, this would not lend itself to that conclusion.
You don't say it in the story, but it's the logical conclusion, which is that some of this was put together with LLMs or AI. Do you have any indication?
I'm so good. Oh my god, it's so hard being so right all the time. I'm so fucking good.
That is the case?
So we don't have any indication right at this moment.
God damn it, never mind.
Moment that this report was put together in any form by AI. It's certainly a possibility. This is the kind of thing that we know AI can do. When you ask it to generate scientific citations, it can sometimes hallucinate studies that don't exist. So we know it can happen. We don't know if that's what's happened here.
Did HHS get back to you at all?
Not yet. Hopefully soon. Yeah.
It feels like something that they're going to have to answer for at some point.
Yeah, well, hopefully they will respond to my email soon because I'm very curious. To see what they have to say.
Is there, and where do you think it goes from here? I mean, the MAHA movement obviously has adherents. Have you picked up any sort of anger within the movement that their first big report ultimately backfired to the degree that it has because they relied on studies they cited, I should say, a handful of studies that frankly didn't exist or misrepresent others? Or is this a case where they're just sort of like willing to look past the stuff because frankly they often have looked past similar things, similar misrepresentations?
It's a really good question. I don't think we've seen fully what the response from the MAHA crowd will be to this. So yeah.
Well, what's the response you're seeing? It's your story. I mean, surely you're online. You've been calling people, I'm sure. Yeah. What's going on? Tell me more.
Yeah. I think they're keeping quiet on it for now, maybe waiting for some response from HHS like we all are. So yeah, I think it will have to play out a little bit more before we see any big response.
Can you reveal a little bit more about the tipster? I know this is getting into sensitive territory, but were you shocked when you got a little tip? Like what was it? Were you intrigued?
Hey, were you shocked when you got the tip?
Were you concerned? Do you think it was a deep fake? What was going on in your head?
To be totally honest, I was like, oh my gosh, there goes my Memorial Day weekend.
What are you talking about? That seems like a great Memorial Day weekend to go through 520 citations on a MAHA report.
It was a really fun time. Yeah. It was
No,
really
it wasn't. You're lying.
Hey, I used to be a scientist in a past life, so in some ways
Okay.
it was kind of muscle memory, but yeah, it was a time to go through them all. Fortunately I had help, so it wasn't me alone.
Well, look, thank you for doing this. It's a great story. I encourage everyone to read it. It's the MAHA report, cites studies.
You know what the most infuriating thing about all of this, like, Make America Healthy shit? I swear, okay, I'm not stealing this just from Destiny, I swear. Because I had this thought before I even saw Destiny make this argument. But literally the most immediate, most effective way to make Americans eat healthier is by putting some type of processed tax or sugar tax or like fake junk food tax on things. That's the easiest way. Make everything that's organic cheaper, make everything that's inorganic more expensive. Obviously you can't make things that are organic cheaper because it costs money to make things cheaper. To make things organic. So they're not going to eat the cost on that. So what would you do in response? You would make everything else more expensive. And then what do you do with the money that you're getting from making everything Can you stop? I'm gonna do nothing. Jesus. Anyways, number one way to make Americans healthier is by making everything that's junk food more expensive. And then what do you do with all of the extra revenue that you're getting, or all of the money that you're going to be making from this like junk food tax? Reinvest it into making the organic foods cheaper. Got him. I just cured America's health problems. You're welcome. Vote for me. Like, over 70% of the over 300 branded food products available in grocery store today are ultra processed. Okay, if you have a list of the 300 branded food products and you know exactly which 70% of them are ultra processed, why don't you find them? Why don't you give them a massive bankrupt-inducing fine and make them pay the cost of having ultra processed foods that are poisoning the children and killing America? If only there was a school lunch program and a school nutrition program that was focused on making sure that kids had every part of their food pyramid together every single day to make sure that they were building healthy eating habits. Oh wait, Michelle Obama did that and conservatives fucking hated it. Like, oh my god. Infuriating. There was a sugar tax proposal in my city for sodas, but people argued against it because they said it targeted the poor. What the fuck? I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Sometimes I hate women because someone is just so inherently fucking misogynistic, okay? Sometimes I hate gay people because someone's just so deserving of a hate crime. Like, sometimes I hate poor people because they are so fucking lazy. I'm sorry. Oh, please save my soda. Please. I need to drink my Coke, my Diet Coke.
That don't exist. It's on Notice. Margaret Manto, thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. And thank you guys for watching our feed. Really appreciate that. As I said earlier, subscribe to the feed so you can get great interviews like this. And we'll talk again soon.
Increased caloric intake. You know who's calorically intaking the most? The fucking gym bros obsessed with their macros, eating literal pounds of beef a day and literal dozens of eggs. That's over consumerism. All right, calm down with the bootstrap rhetoric. That's not bootstrap rhetoric. That's brain dead. I'm sorry. I've been poor before. Never once did I fight for my soda. Like that, not that that's like an indication of how everyone should act when they're poor, but like when you're worried about the lights going out, when you're worried about like the gas shutting off, when you're worried about the water going off, and then you have to worry about like the plumber that you have to hire to fix all the pipes because when the water went off it fucked up all the pipes and everything's dirty now and everything, the water comes out is fucking brown and yucky and you don't have enough money to pay for lunch. Like you're not worried about fucking soda. You're not worried about soda. Like you're not thinking, oh my god, I need my fucking soda. Like no. I would have settled for water. Clean water. Jesus. That's making me sound a lot more hardship than I was. I'm not saying that I was literally fucking starving and dehydrated. What I mean is there are priorities. And if you're prioritizing lobbying for soda before prioritizing I don't know, like literally anything else. Literally anything else. Fuck your soda, bro. What are they supposed to do when they get thirsty and can't afford soda? I know, like, oh my god. Jesus. This is the America that we're fighting for.
Today's number, $1.8 million. That's the average amount attendees at Trump's crypto dinner spent on Trump coin. Ed, what do you get when you cross Viagra with Donald Trump?
What?
Erection fraud. I don't like that. Little ED humor, You're young. You really don't. You haven't been introduced to ED drugs yet. Don't worry, it's waiting for you. You start with Cialis and you think, oh, that's plenty. And then you realize, well, yeah, that's not working. And then you go to half a Viagra and it's as if you have a surfboard and you're worried about going to the...
I love Scott Galloway. Okay, wait, hang on. I want to watch this girl. Let me know what you guys think.
Welcome back.
One of my family members recommended this to me because I was talking about media literacy. I don't like that she doesn't show any sources, and she has a source doc for all of her videos, but I don't like that she doesn't like show them in real time. I don't know, maybe that's just like a me thing, but she does like these like hour-long shows like 2-3 times a week, where she goes through different stories. But like, I wanna just the way that she covers things, I just can't figure out if she's right-wing or whatever.
Also on Tuesday, the U.S. State Department paused all new student and exchange visa interviews at embassies and consulates around the world. This pause applies to applicants for F, M, and J visas, which are temporary visa categories used by international students to enter the United States for the duration of their studies at an academic or exchange program. This pause is said to be temporary, and it's intended to give the State Department, that is, more time to launch social media vetting. So the State Department will be introducing mandatory social media vetting for all student and exchange visa applicants to, quote, counter extremism and foreign influence, end quote. Last month, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced that they were going to start screening immigrants' social media for evidence of anti-Semitic activity. With that announcement, we knew that these screenings would apply to people who are applying for any
Who the hell is Reagan?
Type of legal status here in the United States, whether that's permanent resident status or student visas. So we knew this social media vetting was coming. It's worth noting that social media vetting isn't necessarily new either. So when entering the United States as a foreign national, a phone or social media check has always been on the table. The difference now is the mandatory component. So based off of what we know, it seems as if this will become a routine part of visa application interviews, whereas before it just happened on a rare case-by-case basis. To briefly cover the implications of this pause, let's look at how the international student visa process currently functions. So international students who have been accepted to an American institution must apply for a visa. The exception here is for citizens of Canada and Bermuda. They have a different visa
oh my god, I can't figure it out. Like, my intuition is telling me she's a dipshit. Maybe I'm just misogynistic. Fuck. My intuition is telling me that she's like a right-wing dipshit and that's like faking like the whole centrist unbiased thing. But I don't know. Like, I haven't actually found an issue with anything that she says. Other than like sometimes she's just not as she sometimes like under reacts to things. Like I think the video that I watched before this one, she was talking about which one did I watch? The Big Beautiful Bill Act. Oh, so she was talking about like, oh, here are some major aspects of the bill. And she like hit like the Medicare like work requirements thing, but she didn't acknowledge that that's gonna make it like, she didn't contextualize it properly to show why people were actually upset. She just said, like, people are upset because of Medicaid, but it's not actually getting taken away because of Medicaid.
Welcome back. Let's talk about the one thing you've all been waiting for, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. So the One Big Beautiful Bill Act passed the House in a 215 to 214 vote last week. It'll now head to the Senate. The first thing I want to note, actually, two things I want to note. One, the Senate is likely to make changes to this bill. If it does, the revised bill, assuming it passes the Senate, will have to go back to the House and...
Wait, also a little side note, my goal is to have my website like this. Like, I want to have an episodes tab in my website where I can... Because I have, like, Obsidian notes that I use for all of my shit. Like, this was my video for today, about tacos. It was taco. I don't know if enjoined is a real word. Don't quote me on that. Okay. But like oh my god, it's just so much work. I would literally need to like, this would need to be my full-time thing for me to have the time to sit there and like make these like nicely formatted for everyone. I tried to do it with the Miro boards, but honestly the Miro boards are so much more trouble than they're worth. Like it's so painful. So I canceled that, stopped doing that. But yeah, that's it. Right-wing decor, very clean and organized. Is that a thing? Shit, Arya's completing the canceled bingo card. Can I collect my prize? What did I say? Why am I getting canceled? I'm gonna get canceled for being anti-Semitic. I'm gonna get canceled for being anti-feminist. I'm gonna get canceled for being homophobic. I'm gonna be canceled for being racist. I'm gonna be canceled for being misandrist. I'm gonna be canceled for being them all.
Pass again in the House before it can head to the president's desk for his signature. So I'm going to cover what is currently included in this bill, but just know that some of this stuff could very well change depending on what kind of changes the Senate ultimately makes. The second thing I want to note is that the bill is over 1,000 pages and includes a lot of stuff. So throughout this discussion, I'm really only going to touch on the big ticket items and some of the more specific things that some of you requested I touch on, but there's just no way for me to touch on everything. So if we zoom out and first look at the big picture, the bill includes $3.8 trillion in tax cuts, $1.5 trillion in spending cuts, and $300 billion in spending on the border and on defense systems. Most of the $1.5 trillion in spending cuts are attributed to Medicaid. However, I want to be clear that Medicaid will not be eliminated under this bill. Instead, it will come with new work eligibility requirements, which we will talk about more in a minute. The bill also increases the debt ceiling by $4 trillion to avoid a default, which is currently on track to happen this summer. That $4 trillion debt ceiling increase is what many Republican senators are taking issue with. So we may see that come down in the Senate's revised bill. That's the big picture. Now we're going to zoom in a bit. We'll start with the household financial implications. There are 9 things that I specifically want to touch on when it comes to household financial implications. They're going to range from taxes to student loans to other things as well. So let's just get into it. For one, the bill extends Trump's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, right? Trump's 2017 tax cuts decreased taxes for every tax bracket except for the 10% tax bracket. The 10% bracket stayed the same. However, Trump's 2017 tax cuts were temporary. They actually expire this year. So this new bill would make those 2017 tax cuts permanent. Without this bill, everyone will see their taxes go back to pre-2017 levels when you go to pay your taxes now. So they would go up if this bill didn't pass.
Please stop playing. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There are hooligans in front of my house. This is what's happening to the youth. Yeah, no, this is brain dead. I'm glad that I talked this through. I like to listen to various news sources, obviously. In the beginning, if you don't know what she's talking about in full, which I honestly I didn't have like the full context for like this story about like Louisville and Minneapolis, or about like the school charter case or anything like that. Like I wasn't super informed on these, so I was like, okay, cool. And then as soon as she starts talking about the big beautiful bill, which I'm like obviously aware of because I read through it, I was like, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What do you say? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Which is often the case with most right-wingers, is they'll catch you with like the lure, the appearance of knowledge. They'll fake you out, and then I don't even know. They'll just misrepresent situations. Piers Morgan.
I'm not saying.
Which one did they just have with was it this one? Oh, this one's Brett Cooper. Queen. Oh my god, this guy drove me crazy.
Didn't you? That he wasn't up to the job?
I didn't. No. I knew that he was getting older, but I still think he was up to the job, and you can demonstrate that in the actual work.
Thanks, guys. Well, joining me now to debate all this is the host of The Benny Show, Benny Johnson, and the former Democratic mega donor and commentator Lindy Lee, and Julia Michaels, host of the Keeping It Real podcast, and from the Adam Mockler Show on Midas Touch Media. Adam Mockler, he'll be joining us a little later. So, Benny Johnson, your thoughts on this? It seems to me that this book is a dynamite book. It has an extraordinary number of revelations. I've heard out Jake and Alex explaining why. I don't think they're trying to hide the fact that the media dropped the ball, and they were part of that ball dropping. But are you as convinced or not?
Dropped the ball. It's very polite of you, Piers. You're so very polite. You're exactly right. British press would never have stood for this. And, clearly it's important to hold our leaders into account.
This is Katie Courier.
I love the bulwark.
Katie Couric. I knew it.
By the way.
Thank you.
And I'm a subscriber. Tell me about the interview with Adam Kinzinger. I was saying that he's really been going off lately. I mean, in a way that's like, Adam, my goodness.
Dude is unleashed. I love it. I want more unleashed politicians and ex-politicians.
I interviewed him not long ago, Tim, and asked him about whether he was going to run for president. And he was super actually honest with me and said, I'm considering it, right? You guys didn't? Adam Kinzinger, usually people are so cagey when you ask them questions like that. And Adam Kinzinger was really very straight up saying, something I'm going to consider, which I think this Rahm Emanuel thing is so weird. What do you think?
It's funny. So I'll tell you a little secret since we're on your first Substack Live. I tried so hard to recruit Adam Kinzinger to primary Donald Trump in 2020. And he really thought about it. And it was a hopeless endeavor. And so it's not really great when you're pitching somebody on an idea and you're like, hey, I've got an idea. I think you should do this. It's definitely going to fail, but I think that there might be some long-term benefits to it. And he really thought about it. So I'm not surprised that he's still thinking about it. I'll ask him about that tonight. I'll tell him we talked. The Rahm thing, I also think is kind of strange. But we'll see. I spoke to him once.
This Jake Tapper book is a waste of air. Katie with Tim was a great interview. Hearing Katie cuss was refreshing. Is this a hot take? I think that it's really good that the CNN news anchor wrote a scathing book that is receiving a lot of controversy about a prior Democratic candidate. Like, I think that's really good for us. I think it's really good that we're able to critique ourselves. Is it politically beneficial? No, not at all. Not at all. But it's like, if when someone like turns down a really good job offer because it would like make them, there's just like a common thing. I don't know why I'm saying, as if it's like a universal experience, but like imagine a scenario where someone just turns down a job offer because it would be like too extraneous on them as a person and they would end up selling themselves out. And it's like, man, even if you're not going to get the money, at least you're whole. And then that person ends up going literally like homeless, broke, like starving, doesn't have kids, and they're like, all right, well, fuck, like maybe I should have just sold out my soul for the money. Thank you, Squish. That was my counterfactual. I don't know if that made sense as a counterfactual, but that was my counterfactual.
Once in the last couple months on the phone briefly. I'm hoping to get him on the podcast soon. And look, I think the Democrats, look, I used to be, Katie, I'm maybe getting crossways with some of my Bulwark colleagues like Sarah Longwell and others. The Bulwark is a place that we love norms. And I loved Poppy Bush, and I loved Reagan and Tip meeting together, like we're a place that like we appreciate all that. And I was hoping for a while that we could beat Trump and go back to that where we disagreed on, with comedy, and we were, and the rhetoric, returned. And I just think it's over. I think once Trump's been around for a decade, I think that the coarsening of the politics is permanent. I was with a guy last night I was with some younger folks who went to U Chicago here, and like they don't even remember before Trump. And so when they hear politicians talking in normal old school politician voice, it feels weird to them. And so I think if somebody like Rahm wants to throw his hat in and just be a bomb thrower, and maybe that will land. I think that we should be much more open to like what might possibly be a different path forward.
No, I think you're right. I think like the culture has changed, and I think there's no turning back. And it's really hard not to get sucked into the coarsening of I can't believe some of the things people write and comments people make. And I was in a really...
No Reagan hate when it comes to Tim Miller. I love Tim Miller and everything that he agrees with, even when I disagree with it.
really shitty mood yesterday, and somebody reposted.
Okay, no, seriously. It's so weird to me. Like, people find the Bulwark, and at first it seems like it's this really like lefty. Like, if you don't know anything about anything, the fact that they're just like shitting on Trump constantly just makes it automatically seem like very uber lefty, right? But their whole thing is that they're Republicans that are just never Trumpers, and then occasionally in like a video, Sarah will say something that's like, oh, I hate unions. And all of the comments are like, whoa, what the fuck is wrong? Sarah Longwell is not pro-union to what do you, hello? They're conservative Republicans. That's the whole point. We have had such a strong political realignment now that it is not a matter of conservative or liberal, it's conservative or progressive or socialist or liberal. Those are the opposites, or left or right or whatever. It's literally just pro-America or pro-end America. And one side is pro-end America.
My bitching about $1.8 billion being taken away from NIH and how it was going to affect cancer and clinical trials. And some person said, you know, she's not a scientist. What does she know? You know, she doesn't. And anyway, normally I don't do this, but I was like, I wanted to be like, hey, bitch. But I just said, hey.
Sorry.
Hey, I can say that on Substack, right? I was like, hey, Hi, Susie, or whatever her name was. No, I'm not a scientist, but I actually started.
I need a soundbite. I think this taco thing is gonna be like the next thing. I need a soundbite of the taco song. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is how I do my soundboard. Little tutorial. I want an audio. Clear, sorry. Audio, thanks. Phenomenal. Okay, and oh, hey. Okay, I'm gonna make my taco soundboard. And I actually won't see you guys this weekend because I'm going camping. But you will see me because I will have videos uploaded for you. Because I'm just that proactive and I'm just that good of a YouTuber. This is how I make my little soundboards, by the way. I just do audio trimmer and then I'll go to whatever I just downloaded, wherever I find it. I don't know. I don't care enough to do this right now. And then I'll just add it to my little soundboard. Anyways, that's it. Gotta go. Gotta blast. Bye guys. Love you. Have a great night.